started watching their calendar. So maybe you can just put it on stage and then let it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please may we be upstanding for the arrival of the Minister. Perhaps we can receive him with an applause. And just a few moments to allow the rest of the executive and board members to take their seats. The Minister says you may take your seats. Thank you. So perhaps whilst everybody finds their way around the room, I can invite Simpiwe from the NH Hotels to come and issue a safety briefing very briefly. So may I request that the representative of the hotel come and preside over the safety briefing, please. May I request Simpiwe from the NH Hotels to please come and officiate and finalize the safety briefing, which I'm told in terms of health and safety is a necessary protocol.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pure. I'm the security manager for NH. On behalf of the hotel management and staff, I'm hereby present to you the security and safety briefing. And the stand as follows. During the duration of your event, there can be situations that may require everyone to vacate the building. Situations such as bomb threat, terrorist attack, fire, and others. Everyone will have to use the escape doors which are visible marked. The escape doors will lead us to the route which eventually leads us to the assembly points. Our assembly point is Courtyard, which is next door to us. The other assembly point is Maslow, which is also next door to us. In the process of evacuation, the hotel employees, which are trained and certified in hotel evacuation procedures, will direct us and assist us how to go out of the building. Within our neighborhood, we have fire department along Linden Street, morning site cleaning along Rivonia Road, and we work with in the event of emergency. However, be rest assured that our employees who are first aiders and fire marshals are always ready to assist when called upon. Smoking area is located at Ballroom Terrace and outside restaurant. In terms of hygiene, bathrooms are located at R level. Should there be any overflow, delegates are required to make use of bathrooms located at lobby area. Lastly, Most part of the hotel is under CCTV surveillance, 24 hours a day, mainly for the purposes of crime prevention and safety for all. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Siphiwe. We know that the safety briefing is an important part of the protocol, and I also know that there are many scientists in the room, and you've, in your labs, dabbled with a few dangerous gadgets. But in the event of an emergency, nobody must be MacGyver, please. Let's just do as Siphiwe has asked. And so we can begin. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my greatest pleasure to welcome you to the 2025 National Research Foundation's Awards, Innovating for a Sustainable Future. Tonight promises to be an evening of acknowledging those whose work in science has changed the face of the country, contributed to the scientific fraternity and global civilizations, is advancing the aspirations of South Africa, incorporated and fundamentally is changing the lives of ordinary people by making their lives more efficient and more progressive. And so to all of you in the room, we say thank you for what you've done. And for those who are winners here tonight, your peers have acknowledged the tremendous effort of your work, or the tremendous effort of your work, and we honor and we celebrate you. Without further ado, may we all be upstanding for the singing of the South African national anthem. You may be seated as we just watch a video reminding us why we're all here today.
Since its founding in 1999, the National Research Foundation has been the catalyst for innovation, supporting a sustainable future shaped by science, discovery, and innovation. Today, innovation pulses across our nation, from farmed rooftops to the chalkboard in a rural classroom, where eager young minds discuss questions facing humanity, to the hum of a robotics lab in the historic grounds of our universities. From renewable energy fields to the stars above, science and discovery live in every corner of our learning landscape, steadily shaping a more exciting tomorrow. Innovation doesn't end with discovery. It begins with curiosity. For every researcher we honor today, there are thousands of young minds dreaming up the future. The NRF lights that spark early investing in training and research across the social and natural sciences, ensuring that a sustainable future isn't a dream, it's a direction. The NRF is the engine behind South Africa's research excellence. From these halls, strategy becomes support, and support becomes impact.
We support all areas of science, whether you're dealing with humanities and social sciences, whether you're dealing with the science, engineering, and mathematics areas, whether you're dealing with indigenous knowledge spaces. Our mandate allows us to work across all fields of science. We also try to create infrastructures in all those areas of science with no limit.
Here, ideas are not only imagined, they are equipped through funding, provision of infrastructure, and opportunities. We build capacity across generations and open doors for voices that were once left outside the room. We ignite curiosity in the public and trust in the scientific process. Innovation knows no borders. The NRF connects South African researchers with the world, collaborating across continents and disciplines to solve local and global challenges together. Because building a sustainable future means building it with everyone. We celebrate those who ask the bold questions, who push boundaries with courage and vision, driving the kind of innovation that builds a sustainable future for all. Research is not just data, it's dignity. It's access to clean water, sustainable farming, and innovative ways to heal, grow, and thrive. The NRF supports work that meets communities where they are and lifts them higher. Tonight, we honor the visionaries, those whose work doesn't just answer today's questions, but lays the foundation for generations to come. Those who are shaping knowledge, transforming lives, and building a future rooted in resilience, equity, and excellence. They are not just researchers. They are the architects of a better tomorrow. Welcome to the 2025 NRF Awards, Innovating for a Sustainable Future.
I love the terminology. We are here to celebrate the groundbreakers, the pioneers, the architects of a tomorrow, a brave new world. And for your contribution, we say thank you. Let me also welcome all of those guests who are watching via live stream on YouTube tonight. We want to say to you, thank you so much for taking the time to grace us using new technology, new media, and for you also just to savor what an elegant evening this promises to be. My name is Lerato Mbele. I'm really, really honored to be here. I have watched the work of this minister incumbent in this role over the last few years, and I know that if we're talking about somebody who is from the fraternity, is committed to the country, and is doing the best that he and his team can do to really help South Africa level up, we are talking about Dr. Blade Nzimande and his team. And so really and truly there's an authenticity to tonight. Let me begin by welcoming the Honorable Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Bonginkosi Blade Nzimande. May I also recognize the Honorable Deputy Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Nomalungelo Gina. May we acknowledge the Chair of the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Science, Technology and Innovation, the Honorable Tsakani Shiviti. We also have the Chairperson of the NRF Board, Professor Musa Mushabela, who's with us, and members of the NRF Board are with us as well. The work of the NRF would not be possible were it not for the expertise of the executive team. So we welcome the CEO of the NRF and the executive team. We also welcome the leadership of South Africa's science councils and accredited agencies here with us tonight. We acknowledge the vice chancellors and principals of institutions of higher learning. May I acknowledge the Director General in the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, as well as the DDGs here present. Science is often meaningless in a developmental state if there isn't collaboration with big business and industry. So to all of you captains of South Africa's industrial complex, you're welcome. And may I also acknowledge the leadership of science granting initiatives across the African continent. To you, I want to say thank you for being with us here today. Sianamgela, Realamogela, bienvenue ici en Afrique du Sud. Willkommen, heisem aus Südafrika. Karibu sana, bem-vindo, and the warmest welcome to everybody who has taken the time to be with us at this auspicious 2025 National Research Foundation Awards as we innovate for a sustainable future. I'm sure many of you are aware of the seminal book, The Age of Discontinuity, written in 1969 by Peter Drucker, who borrowed from Fritz Marshall to introduce the concept of a knowledge-based economy. To tell you about a knowledge-based economy would be a moot point, but I find it interesting that 56 years later, we are still grappling with what it means to create a knowledge-based economy. And yet the world is replete with examples of collaboration between science, institutions of higher learning, business, transforming the makeup of an economy, and ultimately creating a lifestyle and livelihood change for the majority of citizens. It was that triage that boosted the South Korean economy by 16%. It is that collaboration that has transformed the story of Singapore. And it is that engagement between business, science, institutions of higher learning that keeps countries like Germany, Australia, Denmark, Sweden, and Switzerland at the top of the tables in terms of annual innovation and relevant innovations that harness a different kind of world economy. If you use the same model in the business sense, you've seen that companies that spend up to 9% of their profits on research and development and innovation have in the last decade transformed to become the most valuable entities in financial markets. We're talking about Amazon, Alphabet, Google, Tesla, Apple. All of those companies spend more than 9% on research and development, creating products today that we don't even know we will need in the future. And I think it's within that context that the work that is being done by the NRF, constitutionally enshrined, by the way, the work of the government and the work of science councils and the work of research starts to shape today the future we can only imagine. And so cheers to the brave new world that you can anticipate and the ordinary person cannot, the problems that you are helping solve before they become a crisis, and for the dreamers who are pioneering a future for young Africans that they can thrive in. To you, we say thank you, all of you, and please give yourselves an applause. And so tonight, as we celebrate the scientific fraternity, peerage, curiosity, and we honor really the fearlessness, the courage of scientific convictions to do something that has social impact. May we just also treat, I think, the energy of today as that of celebration and respect and gratitude, and enjoy the evening. But without further ado, please may we welcome warmly the chairperson of the NRF board, Professor Musa Mushabela.
Program Director, I am touched by those opening remarks, and particularly because you have invoked the name of Peter Drucker. And my favorite quote of his is one that says, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." And I think that sums up the aspiration of what we are trying to do as the National Science of innovation, everyone seated here. But allow me to start by acknowledging the presence of our Honorable Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Professor Blade Nzimande, our Deputy Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Nomalungelo Gina, Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Science, Technology and Innovation, Honorable Tsakani Shivite, the Director General of the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, whom some of you may not know, but I hope by the end of the evening you will, Dr. Mlungis Cele, esteemed members of the NRF board present here this evening, the CEO of the National Research Foundation, Dr. Fulufhelo Nelwamondo, together with the whole corporate executive team of the NRF. I want to recognize my colleagues and peers, the vice chancellors and principals of various universities, the deputy vice chancellors, particularly those of research and innovation, as well as the directors and executive directors of research present here. We've got a number of CEOs and chairs and representatives of various entities of government, including the CSIR, the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, NSTF, the National Science and Technology Forum, Umalusi is represented, the Innovation Hub, the National Health Laboratory Service, South African National Space Agency, Technology Innovation Agency, TIA, the Water Research Commission, MINTEC, the South African Nuclear Energy Corporation, the South African Medical Research Council, Universities South Africa, USAF, the South African Bureau of Standards, the Industrial Development Corporation of South Africa Limited, the Government Technical Advisory Center as well, GTEC. Honorable Minister, colleagues, I want to also acknowledge our international partners who have traveled all the way to be here with us tonight and really makes this event truly African, continental, and global. The Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Technology and Innovation of Angola, the Ministry of Innovation and Technology of Ethiopia, the Ministry of Communications, Knowledge and Technology of Uganda, the Commission of Science and Technology of Tanzania, the National Research Fund of Kenya, the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation of Ghana, the National Fund for Research and Innovation for Development of Burkina Faso, the National Council for Science and Technology of Rwanda, Fundo Nacional de Investigação, Mozambique, Foundation for Scientific and Technological Development of Angola, the National Commission of Science and Technology of Malawi, the National Science and Technology and Innovation Council of Sierra Leone, the National Commission on Research, Science and Technology of Namibia, the Research Council of Zimbabwe, and the Ministry of Higher Education and Research of France. It would be remiss of me if I don't acknowledge the presence of some of our industry partners, as our program director also recognized the important role that the captains of industry play And as the NRF, we are also fortunate to partner with several of them. This evening, I want to acknowledge the presence of Telkom and the presence of Sasol. I want to acknowledge other funders and foundations that are partners of the National Research Foundation, the OR Tambo Foundation, Ikusasa Student Financial Aid Program, the Begin Global and Worldwide Information Services. Present amongst us also are the adjudication panel members that make decisions on these awards. Let's acknowledge their presence, and just so that you note that it is not the board members that decide. This event is made more special by the presence of the award recipients, all of you. You toil every day, you work hard, you spend sleepless nights, you struggle with many of the experiments and the work that you do, the research that you do. And tonight, we are blessed by the success of the work you've done that has brought you here. And I want to welcome you to this event. I want to welcome also the Lifetime Achievers. I want to thank the organizers of this event. As you can imagine, an event of this magnitude, a flagship event of the National Research Foundation. It takes a lot of hard work behind the scenes, many months of work to make it happen. So those who were quietly in the background, we thank all of you and acknowledge your presence here. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's both my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to the 2025 NRF Awards Ceremony, which is now held under the theme of Innovating for a Sustainable Future. This is a prestigious occasion where we celebrate the excellence, dedication, and impact of South Africa's leading researchers, scholars, and scientists. Tonight, we honor individuals whose contributions to knowledge creation, innovation, and societal advancement continue to place our country on the global map of research. These awards recognize not only personal achievement, but also the role that science, technology, and innovation play in shaping a more just, inclusive, and sustainable future in this country, on the continent, and in the world. As the chairperson of the NRF board, I am deeply proud of the work that is done by the NRF to support and enable our vibrant and diverse research community. The mandate of the NRF is to promote and support research through funding, through human capital development, and through the provision of research infrastructure. These remain critical in our collective pursuit of a knowledge-based economy and society. May we view this evening tonight as testament to what is possible when excellence meets opportunity. The individuals we celebrate tonight exemplify academic rigor, intellectual curiosity, and an unwavering commitment to making a difference, whether they are in the laboratory, in communities, or across global platforms. They are mentors, they are collaborators, they are trailblazers. And tonight, we're here to say thank you for the work that you do. Honorable Minister, this year's awards take place at a pivotal time as South Africa is the G20 presidency, the first time an African nation has held this role. Through the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, our parent department, the NRF is supporting the country's leadership by actively contributing to G20 dialogues on innovation and sustainability. The NRF is an active participant in key STI engagement groups, such as the Research and Innovation Working Group, Women 20, Ocean 20, the G20 Chief Science Advisors Roundtable, and the Artificial Intelligence Task Force. This highlights the critical role of research in driving an inclusive and sustainable global development and societal advancement. Ladies and gentlemen, without much further ado, let me take this moment to say to our award recipients, congratulations. You have not only advanced the frontiers of science and scholarship, but you have also inspired the next generation so that they can also imagine further, so that they can question more and contribute even more. May your journey continue to inspire transformation, to also inspire equity and excellence in all spheres of research. In closing, let me thank the NRF leadership, all our academic partners, all government partners and departments that contribute to the work we do, all our stakeholders in industry, and all other stakeholders in communities for your continued support. Let me thank all our international partners as well. Together we build a research system that is impactful and that is globally competitive, and yet one that must be ethical, grounded in our unique context, the South African context. Let us now enjoy an evening of celebration, an evening of reflection, and an evening of inspiration. Thank you very much. Welcome to the NRF Awards 2025.
Thank you very much to you, Chair, and thank you for reminding us what the values intrinsic to a developmental state are, that science needs to be aligned to issues of social justice, inclusion, and mutual benefit. Thank you so much for your words. It's often been said that a reading nation is a winning nation. And I think many of us can attest to the fact that Professor Blade Nzimande, in his academic and political career, has really tried to live up to that, or encourage South Africans to embrace scholastic traditions. And in his recent tenure as a Minister of Higher Education, he has really thrown himself into supporting innovation, whether at vocational training level or traditional higher learning level, across the spectrum. People must strive to be the change we want to see. A professor himself, an academic, a politician. Are you innovative, Minister? We challenge you. He joins us now to just share his own views of why tonight is so important, as the work that he does prepares South Africa for the next century of global contributions, but also the quantum age upon which we're on the cusp. Please join us, Professor Blade Nzimande.
Thank you very much. Program Director, Ms. Lerato Mpele. Awuse muhle ntombi ungathi uzophuma usuba nje umkhwenyana ngokucicana ngomhlanje. Thank you very much for your kind words. Honorable Deputy Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Nomalungelo Gina. The Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, Honorable Ms. Tsakani Shiviti, our Portfolio Committee on Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Mlungisi Cele, the Director General of the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, Mr. Ngabangandela, my special advisor, our science expert, Dr. Derek Swartz, Professor Mosama Shabela, Chairperson of the NRF Board, and thanks for your nice opening words here. Dr. Fulufhelo Nelwamondo, the CEO of the NRF, DDGs of the DSTI and other senior government officials, heads of DSI entities who are here. I can't mention all of you, but you are most welcome and you are recognized. Head of other government science entities who are here. Officials from the Ministries of Science, Research, Higher Education and Environment from various African countries and Europe. Representatives of institutions responsible for the promotion of science, representatives from the national quality assurance bodies, leaders of business and industry, and we value your partnership, adjudication panel members, the awards recipients, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really very honored to deliver this keynote address at this very prestigious occasion, the 2025 National Research Foundation Awards. I wish to start by indicating that earlier today I learned with great sadness and shock of the passing away of my colleague, Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, Ghana's Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, who died in a plane crash yesterday in Ghana. And earlier this year, we were together with him at UNESCO. He was with 8 other senior Ghanaian government officials, including the Minister of Defense, Dr. Edward Puama, all who unfortunately passed on. I heard that there are representatives here, although I'm still going to write a letter. From Ghana, we wish to say condolences to you on your loss. Tonight is about celebrating and acknowledging the hard work, persistence, and commitment to excellence by some of our country's top established and emerging researchers. I must commend you for the choice of your theme for this year's awards, which is Innovating for a Sustainable Future. Your chosen theme is profoundly important, and from it we can make a number of important deductions. The first is that we have rightfully elevated innovation and placed it at the center of all efforts to build a responsive public science system and, most importantly, a sustainable future. Now, the CEO of NRF at least is responding to some of my challenges. When I meet him, I say, CEO, can you tell me what percentage of these monies that you spend results in innovation? I can see that you have taken this to heart with your team by elevating innovation. I'm asking you this because you are one entity that takes 40% of my budget. And for those who care to know, by the way, the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation only takes 8% of the budget of the department. 92% goes to our entities. But we are indeed very proud of the work that the NRF is doing. Your theme is consistent with our department's newly adopted mantra, which is that of placing science, technology, and innovation at the center of government, education, industry, and society as a whole. Indeed, for purposes of promoting inclusive economic growth and development for our own country. The second thing we can take from your theme is that the only way a country can reasonably expect to enjoy a sustainable future is by making a meaningful investment in the development of its scientific capabilities. You know, the president tells us yesterday, he phoned President Trump to say, but your deadline is coming on the 7th of August. We are not making any headway in terms of our negotiations on the issue of tariffs. Now, I don't know since I'm here, but President Trump had promised to come back to our president. I don't know whether he did today. But then I had an opportunity to meet with the president yesterday afternoon. I said, President, we are in a very weak position, unfortunately, as a country. But one thing that will give us strength for the future, to be able to withstand whatever winds are facing us, is to increase significantly investment into innovation, into science, technology, and innovation, and into research and development. So STI is a critical enabler in this respect, and that its adoption by government and public sector organizations is very important. Any country that doesn't invest seriously into R&D, science, technology, and innovation, literally has no future, will be left behind. That's why the NRF is such an important role player in this space for us. The third issue, of course, we can take from your theme is that countries that harness their scientific capabilities to resolve such development challenges as poverty and inequality, gender, racial, and other forms of discrimination that seek to address access to quality education and health care are more likely to enjoy a sustainable future. The fourth implication of your theme is that there can never be a sustainable future for humanity in a world that continues to be characterized by one of the biggest paradoxes of our times: the precarious coexistence of vulgar levels of inequality with obscene amounts of wealth coexisting in one space. This is not sustainable. Now, even more fundamental is the realization that there can never be a sustainable future in a world wherein some of the most powerful countries use science to enable the human destruction and death that we are actually seeing. Science is not inherently neutral. Science can be used for death and destruction, but also science has power to overcome death and destruction and be used for development for the benefit of humanity. That's the message we are sending across all our entities, not least the NRF, that we are for science for social justice. Over the last 3 decades, South Africa's public science system has grown phenomenally, earning us the status of the biggest public science system on the African continent. Our capacity to sustain this growth and strengthen the role of our public science system as a critical enabler for meaningful socio-economic developments depends on a number of variables. One is the ability of our system to adapt and respond to changing circumstances and also fully exploit opportunities. We are president of the G20, as it has been said by the chair of the board of the NRF, and our department is chairing the research working group or the research stream of the G20, and we have used, or we are using this opportunity to place a number of issues at the center of the global agenda. One of the issues we are placing at the center of the global agenda is that studies on genomic diversity has hardly been done on our African continent. In fact, the scientists who know better than me tell me that the most genetic diversity we have in the world is on the African continent, obviously as the origins of humankind. Europe has done, I'm told, about 60%. And to understand genetic diversity is very important for purposes of diagnosing diseases and for purposes of treating diseases, therapeutics. We are placing this matter at the center that Africa, the world must help for Africa to understand the depth and nature of its genetic diversity. That, by the way, will contribute to better treatment, amongst others, not only in the African continent, but for the world as a whole. So we want to use the G20 to achieve, hopefully, things that have not been done and have not been achieved. We also live in an epoch that is defined by a complex combination of old and emerging challenges. These challenges include economic stagnation, rising social inequality, the persistence of armed conflict, the negative impact of climate change, technological disruptions, and the new tensions that are rising from a growing push towards unipolarity by some countries who think that they've got a right to bully the rest of the world. As a country, we have already felt the consequences of these seismic geopolitical shifts. Not so long ago, the government of the United States of America decided to withdraw funding for key scientific projects between the US and South African research and academic institutions. As minister, I had to respond to this, and as some of you may be aware, I established a working group to advise me on the impact of these funding cuts. I am pleased to state that the working group has completed its work within the allocated deadline. I'm sitting with the report now. I'm currently processing this report through our Director General to present a memorandum to Cabinet. We decided as the department that much as health, higher education rightly responded quickly, us also in some respects, but we must go deeper into saying, what are the real implications of this for our science system, not only for today, but for the future of our science, technology, and innovation system. One of the reasons why I took this decision was to protect the sovereignty of our public science system. Any country that doesn't protect its sovereignty of its science system has no future. We are not saying we must be an island. Yes, we must have partnerships, but our system must remain sovereign, that it's serving the interests of the people of our country and also contributing to a better Africa and a better developing world. Also, what informs this is that we must learn from what has happened to us, the embarrassment we experienced during the global outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. We had to be the last in the queue for vaccines because we had no pandemic preparedness strategy, something that now at least our president, supported by amongst others our department and scientists, are working on. At the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, lives of millions of Africans were at the mercy of the generosity of foreign pharmaceutical companies. And mainly because We were not prepared for this. We cannot afford to be caught in a similar situation. Our scientists tell us that within the next decade, we are likely to have another pandemic. A big one. That's a reality. Linked also to climate change and other things, and we do need to be prepared. That's why a percentage of your work as the NRF must also be dedicated to pandemic preparedness. Don't say now, Minister, you are giving us instructions in front of so many people. Yes, I want them to be witnesses like in a wedding. I'm proud that we have made significant progress in terms of vaccine production here in our country, through, amongst others, our vaccine innovation and management strategy, which in short we call it VIMS. It reminds me of the vim that we used to use to, those of my age, they remember the vim to clean the dishes and other stuff. So it's a very appropriate, because we want to clean these pandemics and diseases through VIMS. The third issue that I wish to focus on is the importance of using science to advance social justice. In addition to having killed over 60,000 Palestinians since October 7, 2023, Israel has also committed what is known as epistemicide or scholasticide in Gaza. Science and artificial intelligence being used to kill women and children. Genocide live on our television screens. I never thought I would live to actually see such a thing. The education system in Gaza, it's gone. More than 100 professors, for instance, have been killed. The higher education system is gone. More than 400 academics have been decimated in Gaza. And all the 12 universities are destroyed completely. Informed by our own experience of colonialism and apartheid and our country's foreign policy, I formally announced last year a new program to enable cooperation in science, technology, and innovation between South Africa and Palestine. One of the dangers of genocide is to wipe out a people's culture, a people's memory, a people's system on so many fronts. And we are saying, as South Africa, through my department, the program will have focus on safeguarding, rebuilding, and developing Palestine's research and innovation capacities and infrastructure. This program is being implemented by who? The NRF. And I'm pleased to say the NRF has already published a call for expressions of interest for South African organizations, including universities, researchers, and civil society, to submit proposals for collaborative actions with Palestine. You know, we have a very serious mandate that was left by our first founding president of a democratic South Africa, Nelson Mandela. He said, for as long as Palestinian people are not free, South Africa's freedom will never be complete. That's a huge mandate that we've been given, taking from our own experiences. Now, the other matter I just want to talk to is the imperatives of transformation, which is the final issue that I want to talk about. I've made the point that transformation is a necessity. It's not a political campaign or a political project. Talent in South Africa is everywhere, is in all communities. So communities in the past and individuals who were never given an opportunity to discover and realize their talent, we must make sure that in today's South Africa, we are able to assist in ensuring that the talent is there. The talent is not only amongst men, talent is also amongst women. Oh, mama. We want to make sure that every community in our country, whether it's gender-based, racially based, is able to actually realize its own potential. We've made commendable progress, by the way, as a country, given where we come from. I remember all universities under apartheid that were meant for black South Africans. And there were few, by the way. UTW, Durban Westville, University of the Western Cape, University of Zululand, Tefluop, Fort Hare, and the black section of the medical school at the University of Natal in Durban. If you were Zulu speaking like me, go to University of Zululand. I can't find my letter that I was written to me by the minister then, Korenov. University of Natal was 15 kilometers away from home, but he turned me down and said, you must go to your university, which is University of Zululand, which was 300 kilometers away from home. These things sometimes either we conveniently forget or those younger people who do not know. That's what it was under apartheid. It still is a concern to me that parts of our system still reflects that reality, which we have to transform and change. One of the most obvious things is the continued underrepresentation of blacks and women at the highest level of our science system, much as we have had significant increase. That's why I convened the first summit on transformation earlier this year in Durban. And we've incorporated the outcomes of the summit to the annual performance plan of our department. And I've publicly committed to providing Parliament with regular progress updates on their implementation. Additionally, we need to build on the gains already made, such as women now constituting more than 50% of the academic and research workforce in our country. Malbongwe. Malbongwe. This is very important advance given where we come from and what we need. Why? Not as part of a political agenda, because women must be in the forefront. I'm also, by the way, talking from experience. From age 12, I grew up in a woman-headed household. And I don't know how my mother kept us having food every day, earning in the late 70s 27 rand a month. That's where I saw that women are like they have got magic. By the way, no man will be able to look after children who are very few are able to do that. This is not an attack on men, it's a fact. This society of ours has got so many problems. Without women looking after households, we would not even talking about a community of people in South Africa. That is a fact. I'm told, by the way, the majority of boys grow up in women-headed households. Why then can't women be in science? If they can carry babies for 9 months and look after them most of the time, why can't they be researchers and scientists in whatever other field? They can and they are. The pipeline of the next generation of researchers also looks much healthier as the National Research Foundation has funded more women consistently over the last 10 years, 55%. Well done. I have raised the issue of transformation with the leadership of the NRF, and they've also assured me that they will support the department's efforts to transform our public science system. In conclusion, our public science system has not only produced excellent researchers, but South Africa has also become a sought-after global platform for conducting astronomy, nuclear physics, paleontology, medicine, and social sciences research of international stature. Professor Glenda Gray, I visited the National Institutes of Health in the United States, which I'm sure you know it very well. The acting director at the time, I saw on CNN recently now, they have a permanent director, came and said, I leave whatever I have just to come and do two things. Greet this Minister of Science from South Africa. And secondly, to apologize to South Africa that when you discovered the first variant of COVID, we condemned that and said that's a South African variant. But he says, much as it was said not to be a dangerous variant, had South Africa not discovered that, a lot more Americans would actually have died. So we want to say thank you to you. Go and tell your president and your scientists that we apologize for having condemned you for discovering that variant. Those are our South African scientists. Of course, it was so nice to be a minister at that moment. You know? I felt like even speaking English like a first language and say, oh yes, of course, that's us, you know? Now, all this has been made possible by the high caliber and impactful work that has been done over years, including by our prime research institution, the NRF. I also think it's highly commendable and visionary on your part as the NRF that you have awards that focus on next-generation researchers and early career and emerging researchers. This is critical for our human resources development. I also wish to congratulate and commend the NRF board, the NRF executive and staff for working hard over the years to lay the basis and justification for today's celebration. Finally, and on behalf of government, I wish to congratulate all the winners of the 2025 NRF Awards, and in particular the recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award. I wish to thank each of you for your sterling contributions to the country's knowledge base. I wish you a wonderful evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister Nzimande, also for reminding us that science is in every aspect of humanity. When you spoke about biotech, genetic sciences, that's healthcare. When we speak about the rigors of academic learning, that's education. When we talk about social justice and science, that's making sure that people can drink clean, purified water. Science is there. When we talk about climate change, the whole people, planet, prosperity agenda, science is there. And so in everything and every aspect of human life is science. And then, of course, your closing remarks on the need for more inclusive science and the role of women. And I think for all our foreign visitors, there is a cue for that. And that's because this very week and this month of August, South Africa celebrates Women's Month, and the actual Women's Day in honor of those pioneers in 1956 is on Saturday, the 9th of August, where we never, ever take for granted the role of South African women, their courage in the face of adversity, to always speak up for what is just and what is right, and that is an inclusive society. And so perhaps a round of applause to South Africa's women in science and elsewhere. At this juncture, I think we can sort of process the words of the NRF Chair and the Honourable Minister by my inviting you to enjoy your starters and the music of Ola Sax, and then we will begin with the awards ceremony. So, bon appetit. Thank you. All right, let me say thank you very much to Ola Sachs and his band. Could we give them another round of applause? Thank you. May I also ask the podium mic to be set up for me, please? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to continue with the official part of tonight's program, the awards segment of the program. So if I may request politely that all our guests please take your seats. And perhaps we can show Ola Sachs and his team a little bit more love. I think that was beautiful jazz that we were listening to. And I'm just gauging from my vantage point to see that the remainder of the plates are being cleared up by the staff. And they are. And so let me say thank you very much to the staff here at the NH Hotels. And I hope all of our distinguished guests enjoyed your starters. I'm glad you did. And so we are ready to begin officiating the awards for tonight. We are going to begin with the Research Excellence Awards for Next Generation Researchers. And I think it's important that we do that because the Minister spoke about a pipeline of talent and work that is being done, the passing on the baton, the paying it forward, the future preparedness. This is the level at which it is happening, and these are the awards we are recognizing at this junction. And so the NRF provides funding to postgraduate students in order to address the skill shortages in the fields of science, engineering, technology, humanities, and social sciences by increasing the possibility of retaining suitably qualified young scientists and thereby increasing the pool of researchers and knowledge workers in the national system of innovation. And so this award recognizes the academic performance by final year doctoral students. Before I introduce the winners to you, may I request two presenters to join me on stage to help me officiate over the issuance of this award. And they are Professor Teboho Moja, who's a board member at the NRF, joined by Dr. Len Konar, who's also a board member at the National Research Foundation. Yeah, follow the green marks. Thank you, sir. Thank you both to you, Prof. and Dr. Konar. And so the winners, as I introduce them to you, are Dr. Riona Indor. Please come and receive your award and take a picture. Congratulations. And she's a recipient of the Research Excellence Award for Next Generation Researchers. The other winner is Miss Caressa Munian. Please give a round of applause for a next generation researcher. Mr. Jonathan O'Lee, I hope I've said it correctly. Please come up and receive your award, Research Excellence for the Next Generation Research. Congratulations for your work. Mr. Avela Songoni is also being awarded for Next Generation Research. And finally, could we acknowledge Mr. Mashite Tsidi? Too cool for school, I see, with the sunglasses. Congratulations to all the winners of the Research Excellence Award for the Next Generation. And may I thank our presenters, Professor Teboho Moja and also Dr. Len Konar. I think you can do this if you want just safekeeping. I think you can use this exit. Yes. Perhaps I should just warn you that we have an acrylic stage and we have set up some green arrows to show you where to step. If you're not too sure about it, I'm sure the ushers will just allow you to use the exit that Professor Moja is using. It is a little bit daunting. So just as you come up onto stage, perhaps just be a little cautious, look at the arrows and follow the green lines. Also, another request from the photographers, as I introduce you to the next category of winners, please can each winner stand between the presenters. So stand in the middle. It will make for a neater photograph, I'm told. Aesthetics, they matter in this era. Our second category is Research Excellence Award for early career or emerging researchers. So the minister said many, many things about transformation, addressing historical imbalances, creating inclusion for people who previously were not given opportunities that others were, dealing with the difficult, traumatic legacy of South Africa. All of that withstanding, we know that you change the story of a nation by creating a solid foundation for the future, by creating a foundation for the next generation, that they don't have to endure some of those difficulties. And so as we present this award for early career and emerging researchers, this is really and truly doing the setup work for the pioneers of tomorrow, passing on the baton to those who will lead in the science fraternity, perhaps in the future we won't even be a part of, but we know that they would have been really set up with a very good foundation. The NRF aspires to develop and enhance the research stature of early career and emerging researchers by prioritizing Black, female, and people with disabilities as part of its transformation agenda, which, among others, aims to redress the historical imbalances in the South African research cohort. This award recognizes outstanding research performance by current, early, career, and emerging researchers in any discipline who are NRF grant holders. And so this is really one generation giving the baton to the next generation. And so may I invite our presenters onto stage, please. They are the Honorable Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Professor Blade Nzimande, and also Ms. Lahlane Malema, a board member of the NRF board. Thank you, ma'am. Just follow the green arrow, sir. There we go. And just a reminder to our recipients to stand in between the two presenters. And so this category of award, as introduced, Research Excellence Award for Early Career and Emerging Researchers. The winners are Dr. Thulani Andrew Chauke, and you can see the disciplines in which he works: sociology, linguistics, really about preserving culture, much like the minister spoke about in his speech. Our next recipient is Professor Fulufhelo Edward Legota. From the School of Biological Sciences at Northwest University. Congratulations, Professor Legota. Our next winner is Professor Lebo Khafane Matimane. Also from the Northwest University in the Department of Physiology, a next generation research awardee, Professor Lebo Khafane Matimane. So as you can see, Minister, the future is in the hands of women, right there. I'd like to introduce you all now to Dr. Msizi Innocent Mhlongo, another next generation early career woman. Phytomedicines. Somebody's going to have to tell me what that is. So for his work as an emerging researcher, congratulations to you, Dr. Msizi Mhlongo. Next up is Dr. Itumeleng Monageng. Astronomy and the science of outer planets, congratulations for the work that you are doing. Dr. Ndaba Busiswa Ndaba Vacha, please come and receive your award for an early career researcher. We also have Dr. Azile Ngombolo. And she's with the Department of Chemistry at the University of Fort Hare in the Eastern Cape. Congratulations, Dr. Ngombolo. They make you feel so old? That's why you're passing it on to the next generation, the emerging researchers, paying it forward. We also have Professor Musawenkosi Saurombe. In the field of industrial psychology and people management at UJ, our corporates are in good hands. Is that your field, Minister? Definitely passing it forward then. Congratulations, Professor Saurombe. And last, but certainly not least, for an emerging career, early career, Dr. Bonginkosi Alan Tango. Also from the University of Johannesburg. Okay, so really future preparing is Dr. Tango, artificial intelligence and renewable energies. We'll be looking to you to solve the issues of the brave new world. So hearty congratulations to all of those who are recipients of the Research Excellence Award for Early Career and Emerging Researchers. And thank you so much to our two presenters, including the Minister. You've literally passed it on forward to the next generation. I'd like to introduce you to our third category award, which is P-Rated Researchers Award. And so a P rating is assigned to researchers, normally those under the age of 35 years of age. In some parties, they call that the Youth League. Okay? That's who we're talking about. A P rating is assigned to researchers normally under the age of 35 years old who have held a doctorate or equivalent qualification for less than 5 years at the time of application. These researchers are considered likely to become future international leaders in their respective fields on the basis of their exceptional potential, which has been demonstrated in research performance and output during their doctoral or early postdoctoral careers. The presenters for this award, P-Rated Researchers Award, are Dr. Fulufhelo Nelwamondo, the Chief Executive of the National Research Foundation, and Dr. Angus Patterson, who's the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the NRF, looking after national research infrastructure platforms. A reminder also to our recipients to please stand in between so that the picture can be nicely balanced. And the winners of the P-Rated Research Award are Dr. Mitchell Cox, representing the University of the Witwatersrand, Witsi. And so just a reminder, P rating, usually researchers below the age of 35 who have demonstrated such exceptional potential, they're expected to become future international leaders in their respective fields. So the whole world really benefiting from their work. We also have Dr. Mubian Gulam, representing my alma mater, the University of Cape Town. Another potential international leader in his field, Dr. Mubian Gulam. I'd like to congratulate and invite onto stage Dr. Daniel Hart. From the Department of Zoology and Entomology at the University of Pretoria, Tukkies. Absolutely. Another category of a young global leader, says Dr. Nelwamondo. And finally, but certainly not least, Dr. Simone Richardson. P rating coming from faculty research at the University of the Witwatersrand. And her work is in biotech and vaccine immunology. So congratulations to all of those who have been acknowledged for a P-Rated Research Award. And thank you very much to our presenters, Dr. Fulufhelo Nelwamondo, the Chief Executive of the National Research Foundation, and also Dr. Angus Patterson. We're going to just really congratulate our winners by way of networking, socializing, patting them on the back as we have dinner for half an hour, and then we will continue with the special awards category. So please enjoy your supper. Can I? So sorry, may I bother you just for a minute? Please, may I just bother you for a minute? Enjoy your dinner, but for those of you who'd like to network outside, there is a photo booth, a revolving camera for you. So please go and show off your beautiful outfits and post it online. Hashtag NRF 2025.
One, two, 1, 2. There's music in the air. It makes your sorrow go. Let the music take you there. Yeah, yeah. Far from the world you know. There's music in the air. It makes your sorrow go. Let the music take you there. Yeah, 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 yeah. Far from the world you know. You can feel it when you see. Then you know love. There's a joy in everything. Yeah, 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 yeah. World made of love. If ever someday, you'll come to hear the song, yeah, yeah. I will show you a way, yeah. Your heart can come along. If ever someday, you'll come to hear the song, yeah. I will show you a way. Your heart can come along. Yeah, yeah. Look for love in the music, lost in the melody. You will find love. Look for love in the music, lost in the melody. Yeah. the melody, you will find love. Look for love, yeah, in the music. Lost, yeah. You will find love, yeah, lost in the melody. You will find love, yeah, lost in the melody. Yeah. You will find love, lost in the melody. You will find love, yeah, yeah, yeah. You, yeah. There's music in the air. It makes the sorrow go. Let the music take you there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Far from the world you know. Thank you. Thank you. I can see people are eating, so it's okay, no pressure. You don't have to sing along yet. Well, if you're not eating, feel free to sing along. Just don't be too loud for now. I'm sure you know this next one, so I'm counting on you. I heard he sang a good song. I heard he had a style. And so I came to see him and listened for a while. And there he was, this young boy, stranger to my eyes, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. I felt all flushed with fever, embarrassed by the crowd. I heard he found my letters and read each one aloud. Yeah, I prayed that he would finish, but he just kept right on, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. Whoa, oh, la 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 la, oh, la, oh, 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 la. Thank you. Drifting, I'm drifting away into the darkness. Ndizothatha umthwalo ndubeke emqolo mama. ubomi bunzima. So lift my head up high, open my eyes, and I will fly. Oh, I'm barely coping, I'm feeling closer. Heavens will open, the heavens will open. Mdali wasulu, dikalala guwe. Open up, I'm feeling closer now. The light is shining brighter, brighter. I'm losing my flow. Kudala, disiwa divuga, difunana nalutando, funana nalutando. Kudala, disiwa divuga, difunana nalutando, funana nalutando. Oh, fulaka, 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 fulaka masulu. Afulaka masulu, afulaka masulu. Ooh, fulaka, 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 fulaka masulu. Afulaka masulu, fulaka masulu. Kudala, disiwa divuga, difunana nalutando, funana nalutando. Kudala, difuna ubamibu, fume fugama, gonyama, fugama. Fulaka, 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 fulaka masulu, fulaka masulu, fulaka masulu. Ooh, yeah. Thank you.
Sorry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Distinguished guests, the Honourable Minister, Deputy Minister, Chair of the Portfolio Committee, and all of you, our esteemed scientists, may I have your attention, please? Thank you. I'm well aware that the waitrons are clearing up the last few plates. If you enjoyed your dinner, perhaps we can give them an applause, the chef and the kitchen staff. That sounds like an affirmation to me. We are ready to proceed with the second part of the awards program. And in this segment, we are issuing out the special awards, or we're presenting the special awards. We're going to begin with the award titled Public Engagement with Research Award. Public Engagement with Research Award. You know, when we were outside taking pictures, I know one of our colleagues in the room said to me, how much science do you do? Do you work at the NRF? Why do you know so much about it? Well, I know so much about it because the NRF and many universities engage with the media. And they bring us into labs, and we get brought onto factory floors, and we get to witness science in real life. And when there isn't public engagement, then science seems like it's something very inaccessible and esoteric. We can't relate it to our day-to-day lives because we're just told people in STEM are the smartest people in the world. They are the Einsteins of this generation. They do all these complex formulae that your little mind can't process, and yet science is all around you. So public engagement is what makes the science simplified in terms of our day-to-day living. And so this award really recognizes that. Those people who take the complex and simplify it, the extraordinary and make it ordinary. The science is humanized for the rest of us. And so the Public Engagement Research Award. This is an award that recognizes outstanding contributions to public engagement with science and encourages academics to make their work, the science, the technology in general, more understandable and accessible to just ordinary people like myself, to the public. Before I announce the awardee and the recipient, please may I invite the presenters of this award. I'd like to invite Dr. Amos Nungu, the Global Research Council Governing Board member. Dr. Amos Nungu, please join us on stage. And we also have Dr. Mamweletsi Musia, who's the Managing Director of the NRF and their SASTA program. And again, for everybody coming onto stage, please follow the green arrows because it's an acrylic stage, so it's a bit slippery. So warm welcome to you, Dr. Amos Nungu and Dr. Mamweletsi Musia. And the first award for this segment in the category of Public Engagement with Research Award. Thank you for all that you do, Professor Leila Patel. And she's coming from the Faculty of Humanities at the University of Johannesburg. A warm congratulations to Professor Leila Patel. And thank you for being accessible to the public. And thank you also to those officiating with me, Dr. Amos Nungu from the Global Research Council's governing body, and also Dr. Mamweletsi Musia. All right, now we are introducing you to the Focused Research Advancement Award. Focused Research Advancement Award. This award recognizes a University of Technology and also a historically disadvantaged university that has shown most growth in their research output, productivity, and research support. The evaluation covers a period of 5 years. And I guess this award really speaks to overcoming the limitations of the historical past that the Minister spoke about in his address, as we recognize productivity and support that's coming out of a university of technology and a historically disadvantaged university. The presenters who will help me officiate over this segment are the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Science, Technology and Innovation, the Honorable Tsakani Shiviti, joined by Dr. Gugu Moche, who's the NRF's Group Executive for Digital Transformation and also the Acting Deputy CEO in charge of Research, Innovation, Impact Support and Advancement. Yeah. And perhaps this in itself just deserves an applaud. Here are 2 women in the sciences. And the winners are the Durban University of Technology, an award collected by Professor Jose Merrill, who's the Deputy Vice Chancellor for Research and Innovation. Please join us on stage. Shall I say that again? The winner is the Durban University of Technology. And could we invite the representative of the Durban University of Technology to please come on stage to collect the award? And just a reminder, this award, Focused Research Advancement Award, is for a University of Technology or historically disadvantaged institution that has shown an improvement in research productivity and research support and evaluation over the past 5 years. Our second recipient in this category is the University of the Western Cape. Please may I invite the representative of the University of the Western Cape to join us on stage. Congratulations to the Durban University of Technology and the University of the Western Cape. And thank you to our 2 presenters as well. I don't know if I should make this joke, but thank you so much for coming, Chair, because when I was told that the Chair is coming, I said, so what are we talking about in terms of the hierarchy? And I remember them saying, the Chair is probably the most powerful person. She's the one who keeps everybody on the straight and narrow. So thank you, Chair. Now we're looking at the category titled the Champion of Research Capacity Development and Transformation Award. And so before I introduce the champion, may I just request that the laureate or the recipient of this award stay seated until we invite you onto stage, because you're a champion, but also because we really want to find out a little bit more about what makes you a champion. So until I call you up, please don't come up. Now, the Champion of Research Capacity Development and Transformation Award, it recognizes individuals within the research community who have contributed to the transformation of the sector and the country, who have added to the diversity of South Africa's science cohort through the support and supervision that they offer their research students. May I request, before I even invite the presenters, that we watch a short video that will document the work and the lives that have been touched by this champion.
I'm Namrita Lal. I'm a professor and DSI NRF Research Chair at the University of Pretoria. And I'm also an adjunct professor at the University of Missouri, USA, and JSS AHER Institution in Mauritius. I myself grew up using plant-based medicine, and that's how I developed faith in plant-derived medicine. The pharmaceuticals and cosmeceutical products which we have developed, products with a novel mode of action for various skin disorders like even tone, pigmentation problem, hypopigmentation. We can say that for the first time from South Africa, many plants are moving into commercialization.
We share our specially grown landrace and extraction methods and samples to Professor Lal at the University of Pretoria. These samples are tested on different cancer cell lines. The results of this test has helped us further to develop our products.
The Medicinal Plant Science program started at the University of Pretoria in 2007, and I was one of the founders for this program.
Working with Prof. Namrita Lal, it helps us a lot because the phytomedicine and natural products course, it helps us to understand the in-depth of how to take medicinal plants from the farm to the laboratory and to the end consumer.
And the other online course on natural products, medicine and cosmetics started about 5 years back at the University of Pretoria. And this is mainly for people from industry, traditional health practitioners, people working on in agriculture and so on.
Being a part of the phytomedicine and natural products course has been very helpful in our business development and personal development as well. It gives us a scope of indigenous plants and their uses and functions.
I really enjoy teaching young students. The most exciting thing is that our courses are a kind of integration of basic and applied sciences, and at the end of the day, when the students graduate, they are absorbed in different sectors and even end up having their own startups.
Prof. Lal is very passionate about translating research into a final product. She doesn't just want her research to land up in a thesis that gathers dust. She actively interacts with industry members as well as other academics to find out what research we can do that keeps us on the cusp of current research trends as well as making it relevant for industry members.
I would like to thank NRF for this recognition. I'm really grateful to win this award, and above all, support I've been getting from my university, University of Pretoria, to achieve what I have achieved so far.
My sincere congratulations to Prof. Lal for all of her hard work in winning this award. It is well deserved. She works tirelessly for the development of natural products in South Africa and really ensures that her research team produces high quality results that add a lot of value to the country's bioeconomy as well as research.
She is, my biggest motivator. She encourages us all the time. She always tells us, dream big. You can make it, go for it.
Innovating for sustainable future, this means to me that we are trying to bridge the gap through our effort, gap between the academia, industry and farmers, so that we help one another and find solution for serious health problems which can be beneficial for the society and also for the nation as a whole.
And touching the lives of the next generation entrepreneur and researchers. And thank you for keeping us healthy and beautiful in an organic and sustainable way through the work you do in health sciences and cosmetology as well. To present this Champion of Research Capacity Development and Transformation Award, please may I invite onto stage Professor Refilwe Paswana Mafuya, who's a board member at the NRF, joined by Dr. Thandi Mgwebi, who's the NRF Group Executive for Business Advancement. And so, ladies and gentlemen, a rousing applause for the Champion of Research Capacity Development Transformation Award, who has touched the lives of many, many young scientists and our lives too as ordinary citizens. Professor Namrita Lal. I believe Muhammad Ali said, the champ is here, the champion is here. Thank you so much. You can all exit this way. Thank you so much. It's easier. Congratulations, Professor Lal. At this juncture, I'd like to introduce you to the recipients of what we call A-Rated Researchers Award. So, A-rated researchers are unequivocally recognized by their peers. So it's the community you work with and interact with scholastically. They say you're great. They are recognized by their peers as leading international scholars in their respective fields, for the high quality of their work and the impact of recent research outputs, and they play a significant role in developing the next generation of researchers. Acquiring an NRF rating generates considerable acknowledgement for your work and, as we said, peerage, respect for individual researchers as well as their institutions. And so I think it's all good and well for the world to recognize you. You need that affirmation. But when your peers hold you up, you are really something special because they recognize the X factor in you. So the presenters of this grouping of A-rated researchers is going to be Dr. Mlungi Sicele, the Director General of the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation. Exactly. Yeah, he says it's for the top ones, this one. And only top people are coming up for this one, for sure. So thank you very much to the DG, joined by Professor Glenda Gray, a board member of the NRF. And so we have broken down the winners, because it's quite an extensive list, into two groupings. So I'm going to begin with Group 1, and then I'll introduce you to Group 2. And the winners of the first subsection, or Group 1, are those who have been A-rated for the first or the second time. And so the winners are Professor Jacek Bansiak, who is A-rated for the first time. For a first-time A-rated recognition, congratulations to you, Professor Bansiak. Also A-rated for the first time is Professor Bruce Bickard. So for his work in medical sciences, congratulations to you, Professor Bruce Bickard. Congratulations. And now, please, can we give a warm applause to Professor Rolf Henkel, also A-rated for the first time. In the field of bioscience, please come and receive your award. Oops. Congratulations to you, Professor Henkel. And please, can I just urge all recipients, follow the green arrows. And turn around for the photographer. I'd like to introduce you all to another first-time A-rated scientist, Professor Umezuruike Linus Opara. So introducing you to another first-timer inductee in this highly, highly esteemed category, Professor Opara. Congratulations, sir. May I introduce you to Professor Ivan Vladislavich, first-time A-rated. A warm applause to Professor Ivan Vladislavich. And finally, in this grouping of, because this recipient, it's the second time A rating for Professor Philip Hallinger. So congratulations. And I guess I can say this is the first time for many, the second time, but it appears to me there are going to be many, many, many more opportunities to be A-rated. So cheers to the future. May I also say thank you very much to Dr. Mlungi Sicele, the Director General in the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, and to the esteemed Professor Glenda Gray, a board member of the NRF. And now I'm going to introduce you to the second grouping of A-rated scientists. And what separates them from the first grouping is that they've been A-rated 3 times or more. Whoa. Helping us to present these awards and officiating is Dr. Nomalungelo Gina, the Deputy Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation. Joined by the NRF Board Chairperson, Professor Mosa Moshabela. You've done the right thing. Thank you so much to our presenters. Yes.
you will go that way.
I'd like to introduce you to the very first of our recipients, A rating for the third time in his career. Please give a warm welcome to Professor Lewis Ashwell. In geosciences, congratulations, Prof. So, Prof, the third time, but we expect to see you here soon for the fourth. Thank you so much. Also, a third time receiving an A rating is Professor Don Cohen. Congratulations, Professor Cohen. Another third timer is Professor Harold Kincaid. From the School of Economics at the University of Cape Town, Professor Kincaid. You can exit this way, sir. Please, no problem. So, one of the advantages of being up on stage is I can hear some of the background chatter, and I can tell you, Professor Mosa Moshabela clearly listens to his rap music because he keeps going, and another one, and another one. A fourth time A rating. Professor Thaddeus Metz. Hearty congratulations, Professor Metz. I'd like to introduce you to a professor who's also receiving his fourth A rating, Professor David Richardson. From the University of Stellenbosch. Congratulations, sir. All right, so we've counted so far 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm now introducing you to number 5, 5-time A rating. Professor Igor Barashenkov. For his work in mathematical sciences at UCT, 5th A rating for Professor Barashenkov. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to an A rating for the 5th time, and a hearty, hearty applause, please, for Professor Douglas Butterworth. No, Deputy Minister. We are testing your dexterity in those heels today. And so I think this next award deserves what young people say is a whoop whoop. Now you got to go whoop whoop. Because Professor Michael Wingfield is being A-rated for the 6th time. I hear some ululations on stage. Maybe we can get better ones in the audience. Okay. Yep. I don't know Professor Wingfield, but I know he's absolutely an intellectual dux and doyen, but he's also a stubborn man. He's being told, use the side stairs. He's like, why? Congratulations to all our recipients, and may I say thank you very much to our presenters. Yeah, the Deputy Minister deserves an applause for braving the stairs just a few times. And so now it's time for me to introduce the ultimate category for tonight, the final award, but perhaps the most significant, without in any way respectfully diminishing what we've seen this evening. This is a Lifetime Achievement Award. and the words are self-explanatory. A scientist who has dedicated his or her life to the field, to the fraternity, to the research, to the quality of the work being done, to the advancement of scholarship, to nurturing the next generation, the emergent generation, to the professionalization of the sciences, and to contribution for kith and country. This accolade is awarded to individuals considered to have made extraordinary contributions of an international standard and international global impact towards the development of science in and for South Africa over an extended period of time. And it's a recognition for the manner in which their work has touched and shaped the lives and the perspective and views of many South Africans. And I think that's an important one. When we demystify science and we see science in our daily lives, that's how you touch the lives of ordinary South Africans. When the minister spoke about the work of the Medical Research Council and their contribution to identifying a variant of COVID at the height of global confusion and fear, that's the kind of work that touches the lives of South Africans and the world, and it gives this country a gold star. This individual encapsulates all of what we've spoken about today. Tremendous scholarship, tremendous quality, tremendous social impact, and a tremendous honor for the country because of the work that they do, and systematically over time. Again, I'm going to say and request that the lifetime recipient, please do not come up on stage until I invite you to do so. But just so that we really understand the depth of the work, impact, and contribution she has made, please let's watch this video.
My name is Jill Farrant. I'm a professor at UCT and hold a Saatchi chair. I work in plant molecular and cell biology. At the age of 9, I discovered a plant which looked dead. It rained that night and it greened up overnight. And I subsequently, after a PhD, came back to work on that plant to understand how they can dry without dying. And now I'm at the point of transferring my knowledge into products, making not only maize, but bambara, teff, wheat, more drought tolerant, so we can actually, in the era of climate change, be more food secure.
She joined UCT, she joined the botany department first, and she was one of the very few women in botany. It was a very male-heavy department, and she just made her niche here, working with the desiccation tolerant plants, and I think her collaborations with overseas labs and international researchers made her a world leader in her field, and the NRF recognized that, and she became the first female A-rated scientist at UCT.
Myrothemis frebellifolius is a woody resurrection plant. It's the only woody resurrection plant, but it's highly medicinal. And so far it's been used in the cosmetics industry by Giorgio Armani. I was their scientific consultant to bring out a skincare range called Crema Nera. I'm also working with the UCT Hair and Skin Clinic, where we are testing this plant on wound healing. I was very fortunate to become a laureate of the L'Oréal UNESCO for Women in Science Award, and as a consequence I want to give back. So I have elected to serve as the president of the FWIS, we call it FWIS program, initially from Sub-Saharan Africa, but we found that a lot of our candidates were South African. So we set up an independent program for South Africans.
Academically, she's supported so many students and researchers, and that has made a big difference in the field.
I am absolutely passionate about training researchers, because those are our next generation. Those are the scientists that are going to help us in Africa in the future.
She's been very supportive through a lot of difficult times in my life, and for that I'm always grateful to her.
In my career I have graduated 27 PhDs and 30 master students so far, and numerous honor students, I don't count them.
She's like a model for me because
When we have our first interview for the PhD position, I told her I'm 8 months pregnant, so I can't really do it now. She told me, you take care of yourself, and when you give birth, you can come back. And when I came back, she gave me the floor. And on top of that, she funded all my study. So she's the one who was supporting me. Innovating for a sustainable future is literally food security. To be able to make drought-tolerant crops or to bring farmers some sort of relief from the ravages of the environment.
She is an inspiration to so many people. She's warm and she's friendly, which is not something you often find with A-rated scientists. She can communicate her excitement to other people, and she really does deserve this award. She's made such a huge contribution.
Prof. Jill is amazing. That's all what I can say. She's amazing. She's an amazing woman, and I don't think without her I would have been where I am sitting right now.
She started this out with curiosity as a child, and she's made a global impact. And she's made an impact on many researchers, myself included. She's changed many people's lives in this field and really created a blueprint for us to take forward.
I really am grateful to the NRF for this award. I have been recognized by the German Humboldt Award for a Lifetime of Excellence, but to get it from our own country is wow.
And I'm not sure whether you recognize the depth of emotion in some of the PhD candidates close to tears. She supported me, she sees me, she gives me room to be me, to have a baby, funding my studies. And she's friendlier than the rest of you A-rated scientists. We're going to have a family meeting about that, people. To present this Lifetime Achievement Award to a woman who's been recognized the world over and deservedly, it appears to me not just for the science, but for her humanity, for her heart. Please can we welcome the presenters of the award, Professor Blade Nzimande, the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation. Together with the Chief Executive of the NRF, Dr. Fulufhelo Nelwamondo, he's just telling me the CEO is an all-rounder. The warmest, heartiest, rowdiest congratulations you can muster. Please, can we give her the South African honor that she says she truly, truly, truly values? Professor Jill Farrant. Thank you so much. May I request Professor Nzimande and Dr. Nelwamondo to take their seats as we hear from Professor Farrant, please.
Thank you.
I didn't expect to have to say anything. Sorry, A-rated scientists. I promise you, I know you're friendly. Man, I'm emotional. As I said, that I got this from my country is the biggest honor. I have fought for this country. I have fought for equality in race and gender. And to have it recognized, don't let me cry now, is really a great honor. Thank you so much. I can't go without acknowledging all my students, past and present, and my collaborators globally, and finally to the God of my understanding for showing me my path. Thank you so much.
Thank you for all that you've done. But it would be remiss of me to not acknowledge, Professor Farrant, that there's an honor student out there right now who's saying, she was my supervisor, and you say, and you're like, I don't count those. We've come to the end of the awards ceremony for tonight, but I think to our lifetime achiever, our champions, our A-rated scientists, our emerging generation, our next generation, please can we just acknowledge everybody who's been here today. And all the presenters and officiants of the award are either part of the NRF fraternity or partner agencies or the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation who've created that enabling environment. Can we also acknowledge that? And so to share his reflections on the awards, science in South Africa, this year in particular, South Africa emerges as the president of the G20 and sets an agenda for science globally. Please can we warmly welcome the CEO of the NRF, Dr. Fulufhelo Nelwamondo, to just share his insights.
Thank you very much, Madam Program Director. Honorable Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Professor Nzimande. Honorable Deputy Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Nomalungelo Gina. Honorable Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Science, Technology and Innovation, Ms. Tsakani Shiwiti. Director General of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Mlungi Zicele, the Chairperson of the NRF Board, Prof. Musa Mshabela, and all board members of the NRF who are present here. Let me also recognize the members of the executive team of the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, who work with us very closely to ensure that we can transform the science system to the level that you can see. The Chancellor of Wits University, Dr. Juliet Lamini, I saw her earlier. But let me also recognize the Vice Chancellors, the Deputy Vice Chancellors, and the university leadership teams who represent the sector within which all this research takes place. CEOs of various entities, heads of research councils from the rest of the continent, international partners from the ministries and the funding agencies on the continent and beyond, our industry partners represented here, the adjudication panel members. I would like to ask the audience to give you a round of applause. You can imagine how complex it is to adjudicate awards of this nature. Award recipients, and in particular, let me focus on the Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. Congratulations once more. Maybe let's give a round of applause. The team that worked tirelessly to organize this event, let me also thank them quickly. And of course, our incredible program director, Ms. Lerato Mbele. And if you don't fall into that category, you'll fall in the category of ladies and gentlemen. And good evening. I've been told, colleagues, that I have less than 10 minutes to share brief remarks with you this evening. And I'm just going to do exactly that. As you know, true celebrations start after all the formalities have been concluded. So I won't stand between you and the celebrations that are yet to follow. Esteemed colleagues, this is my 5th year of celebrating NRF Awards as the CEO of this amazing entity. And I may start sounding like a stark record when I say that each year, Honorable Minister, the award ceremony exceeds my expectations in all aspects. I therefore want to start by thanking everyone involved, including all of you who are present here, for coming year in, year out to celebrate with us, but more than anything else, to join us in recognizing the amazing talent that South Africa has. As you heard earlier in the program, and as the Minister has mentioned, innovating for a sustainable future is a theme for this year's awards. Looking back over the last few years, this is a fitting theme given that innovation has featured strongly in the work of the NRF, particularly in the recent years. Furthermore, the 2025 NRF Awards theme aligns well with our Vision 2030, which is research for a better society. And I must emphasize, colleagues, research for a better society. Now more than ever, and guided by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, it is crucial that the research we conduct and support places sustainability at the center. With only 5 years left to deliver on the commitments made in 2015 through the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, it is prudent that we accelerate efforts in this regard. The SDGs, of course, are the outcomes of ideas shared and commitments made during earlier global engagements, including the World Summit on Sustainable Development that was held here in Johannesburg in the year 2002. The summit called for global attention and action to address complex challenges, such as improving people's lives and conserving natural resources in a world with a growing population and ever-increasing demands for food, water, shelter, sanitation, energy, health services, and economic security. These challenges remain relevant today, both globally and here at home. You might be surprised why we had a number of heads of research councils from the continent this week. And just briefly, we convened this week as the African heads of research councils to tackle exactly that, to say, how do we then unite as funding agencies on the continent to talk with one vision, even if the voices are many voices that should be aligned in terms of addressing issues. We had to look into issues of, and the Minister covered this in the keynote, issues of the funding cuts, looking into how do we then become self-sufficient? How do we align resources to make sure that we can actually make greater impact through the science that we fund as funding agencies? And we had a very amazing and productive meeting this week in that regard. Despite South Africa's continued struggle with several challenges, including the very high rate of unemployment among the youth, we have proven to be a highly innovative country. Furthermore, our researchers and innovators still produce impactful work amid severe funding constraints, and thus doing much more with less. Honorable Shibiti. Very less resources, but if you look at what we do much more. Of course, behind any innovation, there must be a strong drive to improve the lives of our communities. And therefore, we must innovate for a purpose. In 2024, the NRF introduced a new category under the NRF Awards. And this is the category that we call the Societal Impact Award. the Societal Impact Award. Those with good memories will be saying, but we never heard about this award today. And that's correct. Aligned with the NRF Impact Framework, the Societal Impact Award is for evidence-based projects that demonstrate the contribution of research to societal challenge, to societal change, for societal benefits. And many of the NRF-funded projects are engaged in research that has direct impact on local communities in the country and in some areas on the continent. The reason you do not have this award today was mainly because there were not strong enough submissions for this award that were submitted before the closing date. So I therefore want to urge you to encourage those researchers and colleagues that you know who are working on worthy projects to submit for the 2026 awards. We are open for that because we want to recognize the impact and the research that makes impact. Minister, Deputy Minister, you have on numerous occasions emphasized that we must place science, technology, and innovation at the center of government, industry, and society. This remains an important call to action, one which the NRF takes to heart, given our mandate and the critical role that we play in the national system of innovation. I am pleased to also let you know, Minister, that in our engagement with the Director General, Dr. Cele, who visited the NRF a few weeks ago, we engage on matters of this magnitude. And Dr. Cele was very much focused in urging us to start thinking about how we can pivot the system to ensure that science that we support better serve the society and to inform the public of work being done across the country. The celebration of the NRF Awards during the National Science Week is therefore befitting. As we continue to mark the National Science Week, we encourage all award recipients not to only participate in the week's activities, but to continue committing to public engagement with science, thereby contributing towards a society that is knowledgeable about science. We don't want to hear superstitions anymore. We want people to understand and engage with science. In closing, I want to extend my heartfelt congratulations to all the winners of the evening, and I wish you every success in your future research activities. I also want to thank a cohort of very important people, NRF staff. These are many men and women who work behind the scenes, who are not invited to dinners of this nation, but they make your science work. I want to also wish all the women present here and the women in the lives of the many men who are present tonight a happy Women's Day on this Saturday. But more than that, Happy Women's Month. I think the results the recipients that you have seen today receiving awards here, you can see that we are making good strides on the lines of gender equality. We are pushing forward. I thank you.
Thank you for what you do as Chief Executive of the NRF. And so to close off the evening, who better than a woman leader in our country, in the person of the Deputy Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Nomalungelo Gina. Please join us.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Minister, allow me, as I greet, to say I'm greeting you and the whole science family in South Africa, meaning the department, the entities, all the entities, everyone who's working in the sector of science who is here. Greetings to our partners from the continent. Greetings to the industry that we work with, all the representatives from the industry that are here, but specifically greetings to our winners tonight. I'm here to say, wow, what a night it was. I'm trying to borrow the words from our program director, Lerato. You said the youth of today, they will say it's a wow, wow. It was indeed. What a night it was. Tonight, good people, we did not, or we're not here only, we did not only celebrate individuals' excellence, but we have reaffirmed our commitment to nurturing a research ecosystem that is dynamic, inclusive, and future-focused. Allow me to extend the Department of Science, Technology, and Innovation's heartfelt congratulations to all the award recipients for tonight. Let us also recommit to the mission of transforming our scientific system to every talented South African, regardless of their background. We are saying this is an opportunity. Let us rise, let us lead, let us innovate. Your achievements are not only a personal triumph, but a contribution to the broader national science and innovation of our country. We are living in a period marked by geopolitical volatility, environmental uncertainty, and economic shifts that demand bold, forward-thinking science. It is also through your innovation, inquiry, perseverance, and pursuit of truth that we move closer to solutions that serve both our present and future generations. This evening, we were reminded of the power of collective efforts. We celebrated the research teams, earlier career scientists, public science communicators, and those whose life work has laid foundations for entire fields of study. Each of you plays a vital role in transforming our scientific landscape in terms of race, gender, and people with disability. Thank you very much for that. As the Department of Science, Technology, and Innovation, we remain deeply committed to making this a change. We must ensure that our science system reflects full diversity of our nation's talent. It is especially exciting to see recognitions tonight of universities like Durban University of Technology, University of Western Cape. I'm mentioning those two because those are the institutions that represent the kinds of growth and resilience that we seek to support more broadly. It is also pleasing to see two relatively new universities in our country that has also taken part in these awards today. Solbladki, University of Mpumalanga. We're really grateful that you are here with us tonight. Such success is also made possible through the support of NRF staff. I'm happy the CEO, we have thanked the staff. I'm really grateful, really, the wonderful work that the staff has made, the perspective, the support that you have given throughout the year to the applicants. There's a lot of work that we know that you work and you do behind scenes that sometimes you don't come here, that we might not see. But when we come here, everything it's nice, it's beautiful, it's glamorous as it is, but we must always appreciate the work that the NRF staff does and they do behind scenes. Again, to all the young researchers and students watching tonight, even if you are not here, please know that there is a place for you in the system. We are committed to opening up the doors wider. There is a place for you. The ground is fertile. We are waiting for you to come and make sure that you bring those solutions that the society is waiting for. Thank you again to the NRF for its continued stewardship of the science and research system. Let me join the CEO again to say to all of you here, Happy Women's Month, and specifically to the beautiful women that are here, Happy Women's Month to you as women now. At first I was saying to all of you, but now specifically to women. And make sure that on Saturday you enjoy August 9 and always remember the critical role and the vital role that you play in the building up of this nation, and the nation is waiting for you to contribute quite a lot to its, to the benefit of the nation. We're looking to your contribution, especially in the economic growth of the country. But let's go all out there, work a little bit harder. We'll see each other next year, where I hope and believe, CEO, even the category that was not represented, that was not awarded here today, that one of the social impact of our researchers, we are going to be having that award next year. That will mean we'll go back and work a little bit harder as our researchers to make sure that we cover that gap. Our society needs you. Thank you very much, Program Director.
Thank you for those warm and encouraging words. And perhaps just a moment of self-indulgence, if I can, and if I can ask the technicians at the back, can you turn on the lights? Yes. And can we ask every woman in the room to stand up in honor of Saturday? Thank you, ladies. All right, we've definitely come to the end of tonight's proceedings, and all I can say is that I learned a few things today. You know, that science is life, life is in science, and if we really commit science to the development of the country, then we really live out the mantra of people, planet, and shared prosperity. And that is the work you are doing today. It is about the planet, it is about people, and it is about everybody benefiting from the interventions. And so let's carry on in that way. Just before I close off the evening, I just have two announcements. Please may I request that all our recipients in all categories that you'll come up. The ushers will be here to guide how we're going to have the photographs taken, but we're just asking that you come up so that we can have a group picture for each category. And in that picture, may I humbly request that we have the CEO of the NRF, the board chair of the NRF board, the Deputy Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, and the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation. If we can have all of those people coming back onto stage for the different group pictures, that would be helpful. And then as the DG said, you know, he's standing between you and your dance moves and your dessert. He doesn't want to stand between you and your dance move and dessert. I don't either. But as we round off the evening, just know that for those who are ready to leave, there are gifts of gratitude at the registration desk for you. It's just our small token of saying thank you for taking the time to be here and support the science community, and thank you for your contribution. So please don't leave without a gift of gratitude. You will find it at the registration desk. And then, yes, it's time for levity and libation, but just please drive safely as you go home and enjoy the evening.
Sunday.